Hello?
Mr. Landau?
Yes.
Hi, this is Steve Harris.
Hi, Steve. Could you give me about 1 minute to get set here?
No problem.
I'm just going to put you on hold.
Sure.
Yes, I'm fine, Steve.
Great. Okay. Do we have an hour?
An hour? Somebody said an hour?
Yeah. I like to, first of all, get the time straight just so,
I think in terms of more of a half, I think we can cover it in a half an hour, I'm sure.
Okay, let's see what we can do.
Okay.
Okay, I've been given a list of questions here by
Okay.
Rocking On magazine.
Yes.
I'm actually a translator and interpreter by trade.
Okay.
And one of the guys at the magazine just sort of formulated a list of questions here. And
Go ahead.
The focus seems to be on filling in the blanks from Tunnel of Love on.
Sure enough.
That's the main angle here.
Okay.
So at any rate, here we go. I have this was just sent to us.
How many questions you got there?
There must be a good, gosh, 20, 25 or so.
Oh, that's fine. Go ahead.
Yeah. All right then, let me see here. I guess Bruce pretty much had put things on hold as of about 87 in terms of the musical output, both recording and on stage.
Mm-hmm.
What sort of things had you been talking about, or had he been talking about at that time? What exactly?
Well, Bruce went from we went from a very productive phase starting in '82. We had the Nebraska album, and then, of course, in '84, in June of '84, we had the Born in the USA album. And Steve, you let me know if I'm talking too fast. Are you taping me, or are you taking notes? What you doing?
I got you on tape, so we're fine.
Okay.
Just fire away.
Okay. That tour, of course, was his biggest tour ever, and it ended at the end of September in '85. And, of course, we then went into a very intensive work on the live album, which, because it was so big and involved so much editing and listening and mixing and things of that nature, it was a very, very hard work. And that of course, came out in '86. And then we had the Tunnel of Love album come out in September of '87. So really, from '82 to '87, we got the Nebraska album out, the Born in USA, the live album, Tunnel of Love, was by far the most productive period in Bruce's career, and a very exhausting one. And after the Amnesty International tour, basically we came off the road and looked at each other and said, "We'll see you in a year." It was just we knew that particular year was going to be just time to cool out and rest and a sabbatical, let's say. And the fact of the matter is, it was in December of '89, right? The Amnesty tour ended in October or September, I forget. I think in October of 1988. And we took a year off, and we started work on what became the two albums in December of 1989. So basically, what's happened in very broad strokes, to sum up, is we had that very, super active period. We took off from the end of Amnesty in around October of '88 till December of '89, a little bit more than a year. And from December of '89, right around the start of 1990, we just worked straight through on these records, and it's just taken us this much time to, work on those things and think them through and get them in a state where Bruce wanted to release them. So that's pretty much what happened.
Yeah, it's a very edifying answer, because this guy had sort of assumed that there was this dry spell and this period of crisis, the impending crisis that was sort of that had kind of come up and was threatening Bruce's career.
I never looked at it that way. I've heard that, sometimes when people from a distance, it can look one way or the other, and to people, and they can interpret it but from my perspective as the producer and the manager, I never felt that way. We pretty much stuck to our plan. The year that we took, I guess the part that wasn't according to any particular plan was how long the records took. But that's happened to us before. The Human Touch album took about 15 months to make and mix and so forth, that's actually shorter than Born in the USA took and The River and some of the other records, because in our case, the making of a record consists of the writing of the songs. This part of the making of the record, because obviously Bruce writes all his own songs. And he writes a lot of songs, and what Bruce is always concerned about in the making of his records, he's concerned about many things, but one of the things he's concerned about is, what am I saying? And until he has a group of songs that not only are good in their own right, but sort of fit together and have some general overview, we keep going. So we record a lot more songs than, we record a bunch of songs, and then we take a little break, and we listen to them, and we edit them down, and say, oh, yeah, this is the one here, that we really like, and then we record a bunch more, and so forth. And there's a lot of trial and error and experimentation. The actual recording of a song is nothing. I mean, it takes a day. It takes a day to record a song, and maybe, the vocal, maybe he'll come back and sing again, or the guitar or something, but 90% of what's on a record is recorded, in a few hours, the first day. I mean, just very smoothly. We've been doing this for 20 years, so, and it's really a mental process, in terms of thinking, and an artistic process in terms of putting the whole thing together in a certain way. So after the Human Touch album was done, Bruce sort of felt, gee, it's been a long time since I put a record out, and I'm not sure. I mean, I love this album, but I'm not sure this is all I want to say. Maybe there's something more. And he felt like he had, some more songs in him. And he originally started out looking sort of for one more song. And he wrote a song called Living Proof. And as soon as we heard it, we knew it was sort of different than anything on Human Touch. It had different sound. It just felt different to us. And I encouraged him to keep going, and he very quickly wrote the songs that became the Lucky Town album in about 3 or 4 weeks. It was just a real creative explosion. And so we suddenly found ourselves with 2 records instead of 1. And we had to think that through and think about that, and, but eventually we got around to putting them out.
It's kind of a funny coincidence that the release came on the heels of the Guns N' Roses.
Well, we knew Guns N' Roses were planning to do that, and we talked about that. We sort of said, hey, they're doing it. We can, why not? We can do it too. It was like we laughed about it. It'd be sort of funny to borrow an idea from them, but they're a great band, and we, they hadn't put it out yet. We didn't know if it was going to work or not when we decided to do this. We just heard the rumors that they were going to do it. But I remember Bruce and me sitting there with the 2 records, and we played them both one day, and we were trying to figure out, well, is it a double album, or should we take the best songs from each? And we kept coming back to the fact that it's just this weird thing where he really made 2 distinct records. They have 2 different sounds. They have 2 different points of view. One is with this group of studio musicians. One, Bruce played almost all the instruments himself. One is sort of a little bit about a person struggling to become happy, and the second album, the Lucky Town album, is sort of about a person who is happy, struggling to stay happy, and is the way I sort of saw it. And I said, they really got quite different there. And they said, well, we both just sort of spontaneously agreed that it really would make sense for them to come out as separate records. This is the work we did. It would be 4 years plus since people had heard from us. This is the work we did. Let's just get it out there to the people, And so he said, hey, it's never been done before. So, we said, yeah, but it's about to be done. We know that they're doing it, and why not? Just why not? Why can't you do it? Of course you can do it. So we just decided to do it.
Another one of the assumptions that appears in the questions here is that the Born in the USA period was like kind of a supernova in Bruce's career, if you will. And did it leave sort of a black hole? Did it have some sort of effect on Bruce that where it caused some sort of result that might not have happened had the success not been that great?
Well, we'll never know. I think that the questioner there is onto something. I mean, it was, it catapulted Bruce into a level of superstardom he hadn't previously achieved, and it was a new experience, and it was a complicated experience, so I'm sure it affected him